Good morning. Welcome back to my kitchen, Cooking with Carol Diane. Wonderful, beautiful, colorful Colorado this morning. It's a gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous day this morning. I got up this morning and decided to show you what I call easy peasy cinnamon rolls, because they are. Once you see what I'm going to do, you'll say, oh my gosh, why haven't I made those before? How easy, and it is. So the first thing that you will need to do, first I'll show you, I made some, just a quick little batch last night just for me, and I ate one. They're so good. Okay, so what you will need is one of these. You've all seen them in the grocery store in the frozen food department. These are Rhodes white bread. They come like this, that there'll be a frozen loaf. So you'll want to take some, what I like to do is I just take some wax paper and then I spray the wax paper very lightly, very, very lightly with some cooking spray. And I'll just set the frozen loaf on the paper like that. And then I usually just kind of roll the paper. Sometimes I put it upside down. Most of the time I do put it upside down, leaving air on both ends. Now you want this to thaw out at room temperature. And it's going to take a few hours, it really is. Well, depending on your house and the temperature in your home. I have done this a quick method where I have put it outside with a tea towel on top of it to get it nice and thawed out. However you want to thaw it out. Don't thaw it out in your microwave. Let this do it naturally on your counter. Excuse me, the thawing out method. So that is number one, first step, is to take the frozen dough, thaw it out, and then I'll be back after that's thawed out to show you how easy this is to put together. So hang on for that, okay? Welcome back to making the easy peasy cinnamon rolls this morning. My cinnamon roll dough part has thawed out, so now I would like to show you the next step of how to make these cinnamon rolls. So here they are right here of mine. Took about, let's see, about 2 hours to thaw them out. And it just depends, like I said, it just depends on your kitchen, you know, how warm your kitchen is, a lot of things. If you want to set them outside covered in the sunshine to have it thaw out a little bit more, that's great too. So I'm going to start with flouring my pastry cloth. And the reason why I wanted you to, as you can see, kind of spray this wax paper is sometimes they stick. The dough part. I like to get a generous amount of flour on the dough part. Get them off of the wax paper. Don't worry about how it's going to look, because that's all going to change here in a few minutes. That's that part. And you just want to roll like any other pastry. I'm going to probably start with this one. Get nice and flat. Now, any rolling pin will work. Any surface will work. If you don't have a pastry cloth, that's okay. Put it out on your counter with a little flour and it'll do the same thing. It really will. What you want to do is start getting kind of the air bubbles out of this dough. And you want to form it where it's going to spread out, where we can make the cinnamon rolls. You don't have to have it real long unless you want a lot of them. My pan last night with one of the dough, bread dough, made 6 cinnamon rolls. So I'm sure I'm going to get probably 6 out of this. Okay, so there it is as far as the dough. Then just take a butter knife and some soft butter. which I have here. Generously go on your dough all the way. Really get it worked out to the corners, your sides of the dough. You can use margarine, and I have sometimes, but years ago I stopped using margarine. It's so filled with water that I didn't like the results. So I strictly use butter now. I really do. Large amount, heavy amount of your butter on there. Then I take cinnamon. I have a little shaker container. I just think I found it in a dollar store years ago, but it works. And I kind of go along like this because this is a new flour board or pastry cloth that I don't want to get too bad with cinnamon. So I'm going to kind of corral it here and put the cinnamon all over. Now, if you like raisins, a lot of people like raisins with their cinnamon rolls. I just, either or, it doesn't really matter to me, but I kind of prefer not to have them on here. And then the sugar, again, a large amount of sugar on here. Cinnamon rolls are so easy to make, they really are, and you'll have fun doing it. And then you just start with one end, and you just start rolling. Roll, 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 roll. Roll that cinnamon roll up. Turn it. Roll, roll, roll. Okay. Now I have a 13 by 9 pan that I'm going to put this in. And to do this, I probably should have put on my apron, which I will. Which I will. This is my little vintage apron that I made for my vintage camper. I have a little 67 Cardinal camper, and I made this little apron that I embroidered the Cardinal on there and put the white rick rack on it, and I kind of like it. I'll put that on since I am baking today. I like a half apron like this that has pockets in it because invariably my nose will start sniffing and I can put a clean tissue in there, and you know how that works. That's my apron today. Okay, so again, we're going to take a 13 by 9 pan and lightly put some cooking oil on it. And I'll just set this right up here. Then you're going to take a large knife or a sharp knife, and this is how my pastry cloths get damaged over the years, is because sometimes my knife is a little bit too sharp, but I'll try to go careful with it and not cut the pastry cloth. Okay, so then you might want, if you want to count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you can. You can just eyeball it like I usually do. And you just come right along here and cut this dough. Okay? Then you're going to place the dough, your little cinnamon roll, in your pan. I always start with the corner. I just like to start with the corner to see how many I can put in and how it's going to look. Sometimes I've had to make 2 or 3 pans depending on how many I'm serving. This weekend, it is Memorial Weekend. I'm going to be doing another video of having some things as just kind of a standby of what I want to serve. I'm not going to go overboard by any means. We're having some family drop by on Sunday, and I kind of thought these cinnamon rolls might be nice to have Monday morning when they get up. And then I do the other corner. I start with the corners first. So I think they'll like that. I will be putting a icing on these. Now remember, a frosting to frost something is thick. An icing is a little thinner, and a glaze is kind of a runny texture. We're going to ice these so that they come out nice. Okay. All right, and now I'll start with my second one. That'll get it going. Again, just roll out those air bubbles. You're going to see them. Probably won't be able to see them in my camera, but they're there, little air bubbles. And you want to get those out. So we're just going to kind of roll the dough out. I stumbled across this years ago. I think I was in my 20s when I either saw this. I really can't remember now how I came across it. But back then in those days, many moons ago, I wasn't one to do yeast. It was kind of intimidating to me at the time. And so when I came across this one and it tastes the very same, I thought, well, I'm just going to use this to make some nice cinnamon rolls. And so that's what I've done over the years. I've made a lot of these. I really have. Lots and lots of them. Taken them to church functions that we had. The sorority group that I was in, I made, oh my gosh, can't even remember how many pans of cinnamon rolls I made for that. And they're just a good standby of quick and easy. Now you could thaw out your dough the night before. Thaw it out in the refrigerator, same principle, put it in some wax paper. Or I have left it in the sack that it came in, which again is this one, the Rhodes Just White Bread. I've left it in that and just put it in the refrigerator and let it unthaw in there. And then the next morning, you get up and you start making them. And then, of course, you have to let this rise like anything else. This is a dough, like a bread. And you have to let it rise. Now, you want this double in size when it rises. So if you were doing this the next morning, allow yourself some time to let it rise before you serve it to your guests. And again, right now would be the time that if you wanted to put in raisins, you certainly could. I'm just opting not to today because I kind of like mine plain and simple. That's me, plain and simple. I really am. So again, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm getting 6 out of this one. It's going to make a nice pan full of cinnamon rolls, which will be great. And that's what I want. Nice pan of cinnamon rolls. Actually, I think I can do it this way. Yep. Haven't made these in so long. I really haven't. But I'm going to today. Now, because I'm going to keep these, I'm going to keep them refrigerated after I even put the frosting on them. Okay, so that's going to be the pan of cinnamon rolls, just right there. The next step to do, move all your stuff out of the way. That's kind of the next step to do. I'll go ahead and roll up my cloth. Now again, you want these to double in size, and the fastest way to do that is I take what I'm used to raised with calling a tea towel, whether it's one like this that's heavier, you know, of a towel, or whether they're ones like this. Now, years ago, people had these all the time. These are the ones that I've just kept around. This is a beautiful embroidered blue jay. And I've made these, I really have. I had a mother-in-law that I made 12 different beautiful embroidered birds for Christmas one year. And I remember going to their house later in the year, and I was in her kitchen doing something, helping her clean up, and I asked her, you know, where do you keep a clean tea towel? Oh, bottom drawer, you know, bottom drawer. Okay. So I opened up the drawer, and there were all my beautiful embroidered tea towels just sitting there at the back of the drawer. And I looked at her and I said, why are they at the back of the drawer? Don't you use them? Oh, no. She says, those are just too pretty. I couldn't use them. I tried. I really did. But this is what I use, and I use it because of the thin cotton material. So I will take this and cover the whole entire dish. And then again, I will set this in a place in my house. Maybe I'll even set it out on my patio table to let these rise and get twice the size that they are right now in this pan. And then I'm going to pop them in the oven. And probably about 400 degrees. I didn't time my little pan last night, but I'm going to guess about 8 to 10 minutes. Might take 12 to 15. I'm not real sure on this pan. It's been a little while since I've made these. But you just have to kind of keep an eye on them. When they start to get the brown where you're going to see the cinnamon, they popped up some more and you see the cinnamon coming out of that dough, that's when they're going to be done. If you're in doubt about how long, go ahead and stick a toothpick in, and when it comes out clean, you'll know that your cinnamon roll is done. So I will be back to show you what we're going to do as far as an icing that I'm going to put on this and how they're going to look. It's not going to take very long, it really isn't. So I'll catch you in a few. I'm back, and now I would like to show you what your cinnamon rolls are going to look like when they have doubled inside. So I took mine outside and put it on my patio table. It is 83 degrees outside right now, and I didn't bake them in the sun by any means. All I wanted to do was have enough heat that they double in size, which they have. And this is what they look like now. Doubled in size. Nice, huh? So now I'm going to pop these in my oven at 400 degrees. And like I said, I'm going to go probably 8 to 10 minutes. I'm not real sure. I'm going to try it at that. What I wanted to do while those are baking, if you bear with me, because they won't take very long, they really won't. Special things, special people come into your life. When I talked about the this tea towel, of why I like it, because it's so soft, these are special. These are now vintage. My sister would get a very big kick out of this video because everything I do is vintage, but that's me. I have collected tea towels over the years, and these are the ones I have. I have ones that show every month, embroidered every month. I have ones that I have a cute one, this one for my vintage camper that is for a toaster with a little bird on it because I like birds. And some of them might say, you know, wash day. And some of them have a little edge on them, the crocheted edge. I have a lot of them that have, this is another one that says ironing day. They did this back then. Many, many years ago, women would sit, grandmothers, great-grandmothers would sit and embroider tea towels. Pretty little things on tea towels. These are little dogs, one every day of the month, or the day, you know, Monday through Saturday type thing. And I've hung on to them over the years. Special people that come into your life that know how to do things brings to mind. I have a very special neighbor next door, 91 years old, that I talk about every now and then. Her name is Louise. Well, next to her was a gal named Ruth. And she passed away about 8 months ago, pancreatic cancer, in a lot of pain. She left the hospital and went home to die in her bed with her little dog, and that's what she wanted. But before any of that happened, when I met her, she was still thriving as anyone should. And she would have little yard sales, and that's how I first met her, was at a yard sale. And I went down And she had something on the table that I bought for my little granddaughter, Michaela, who at that time was barely turning 8 years old. And she came over to me and she liked me. And she said, does your granddaughter like to play with dolls? So I said, oh yeah, she's got all kinds, you know, baby dolls, all kinds of dolls. And she says, well, I make something with Barbie dolls. Does she play with Barbie dolls? And I said, she's just beginning to, yes. And this is what she made for my granddaughter, 8 years old. Now, these are crocheted little skirts that she would buy I don't know, little Barbie dolls. They didn't have to be brand new at all. And what she did was she put them on things like little lampshades, little small little lampshades like this. Each one had their little shoes, you know, to match. And they just really do just fit right down in that little lampshade. And I was absolutely amazed. I thought, oh my gosh, I know how long these take to make. I mean, if you're really fast at it and good, not long at all. But it took her, you know, several days. And pretty soon she called me and she says, well, I'm done. Can you come over and get it? Absolutely. And I said, these are just gorgeous, Ruth. I said, you could sell these and make some money. Oh, no, she didn't really want to do that. She just did it because she enjoyed making them. Well, not only that did she make the beautiful blue one, of which my granddaughter did come over that particular weekend. And I said, Michaela, I said, I have something for you, but it's pretty special. I said, the neighbor down the street made this just for you. It took her a long time, and I said, so you got to be kind of careful with it, because I said, it's pretty special. Oh my gosh, her eyes just lit up, and she really liked that. Well, then Ruth called me one day, and she says, what's Michaela's favorite color? And I said, well, I kind of think she's going for purple right now. Okay. She says, I'm making some now that have angel wings on them. And this was the pretty one that has angel wings. Aren't these gorgeous? The detail and the prettiness of what Ruth has done with these dolls absolutely astonished me. I mean, every little detail that she put on here just to make, I hardly knew the woman. I'd only met her a couple of times, but this is kind of what she did on her spare time. And loveliest lady you'll ever meet in your entire life, cut down in life way too short on her time here on earth, because she was a wonderful, wonderful human being. And I miss her to this day. She made another one that was pink, another one with angel wings. Don't even know where she got these little angel wings, but she did. And this is the little pink gal right here. And like I said, the work involved of what she did with these beautiful little dresses. So every time that Michaela comes here, my guest bedroom isn't really a guest bedroom anymore. She's turned it more into her bedroom. She calls it her bedroom. And I have a dollhouse in there that she likes to play with. And these are down below the dollhouse. And every time she comes over, she plays carefully, you know, with these dolls. And the other day, the husband was having a yard sale, and he still says he hasn't come to terms, you know, with his wife being gone. They were married for 52 years. And so he's having this little yard sale, and I went over, and my intent of going over was, of course, to talk to him, you know, to see how he was doing. But I thought maybe I could just find one little thing that reminded me of Ruth. And I did. And so this little thing here that people used all the time, that you put your arms in and you pick up a casserole dish, or like what I'm going to do with my cinnamon rolls, get my cinnamon rolls out. This has hand-painted flowers on it of pansies on one side and daisies on the other. Just can't get rid of the daisies around here, can I? My little dog, Daisy. So I thought this was pretty special in remembering Ruth. That doesn't take very much, but she was somebody that I'm never going to forget. I'm just not. She was just that special of a person. And to make 3 different dolls for my granddaughter, that was pretty special. It really was. So I kind of wanted to share that with you today. And I'll take care of my dogs and be right back. Here are the cinnamon rolls out of the oven. Took about 11 minutes for this mini. So I'm going to let these completely cool down, and then I'll pop back on and show you how to do the icing that's going to go on top. I'll catch you in a few. I'm back. Once again, the final part of this easy peasy cinnamon rolls. And now we are on to make the frosting that's going to go on top. So what I'm going to do is take a little bowl and some powdered sugar. Doesn't take a whole lot, but you want enough to cover it real nice. Like I said, frosting is thick, the icing is a little thinner, and then a glaze is kind of runny. So I don't know, I'm gonna put about that much in my bowl to begin with. And then I'm gonna add just a little bit of flavoring, and this is the Madagascar vanilla extract that I'm gonna just kind of put in a sprinkle or two of that for some nice flavoring. And then we're going to add some milk. Now the milk, you're gonna have to go a little slow and do it as you go, because you don't want to get it too thin. Then you'll have to add a little bit more powdered sugar, which I've done several times. I really have. Really have. So you just kind of want to mix that up until you get a nice thickness here that's not too thick and not too runny either. Not too runny. Just a drop more, not much. Not much here. The vanilla is going to give it a nice flavor. It really is. So it comes to a consistency of looking like that, which that's what you want. Okay. And I probably could do it with my whip like I did the other ones, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to take the spoon. And I said it's come just this thickness, which that's pretty good. That's what I want. And I'm just going to kind of drizzle this all over the cinnamon rolls. If you like yours really thick of your frosting, go ahead with that. Make it a little thicker on here. I like it where it's where you can really kind of see the cinnamon rolls. You know, you can see the cinnamon on the cinnamon rolls. And this is going to be very tasty. I just kind of wind it around my spoon here a little bit. Get it where it drizzles real nice on there. Real nice. Like I said, these are going to make a nice addition to breakfast. And that's going to be wonderful. I think they're going to enjoy it. A company that's coming Sunday. Real nice. I probably will take, oh, I don't know, 3 or 4, probably 3 out of here. And I'll take to my neighbor next door, Louise, the 91-year-old, because she doesn't get treats like this very often. So I'll take that to her. So I got them out of the oven with my nice little handy-dandy oven mitt type thing that you use of the daisies, remembering my good friend Ruth. So here's to you, Ruth. I hope you're resting in peace, because I sure miss you. I really do. And these will be great. Easy to get out. And I'm going to let these sit. I like to let mine sit a little bit and let that glaze kind of rest on there. You can pop these in the refrigerator and get them nice and cool, and I'll probably do that too. While I was out and about, waiting for these to cool down. I went in my yard and I just kind of wanted to show you my beautiful flowers that I have just around my little yard. These right here are called blue flax, and they're just such a tiny little flower. They're a wildflower. I just sprinkled the seeds over by my shed and they started to grow. And I put that in my nice little lilac vase that I have here, which again, sister would say, could she get any more vintage? I don't know, I'm working on it. But I wanted to show you those. These little orange flowers right here are called sand dune, and they were with my wildflowers. And this one, and this one right here are called China roses. And I have several now that are the beautiful pink. This one's kind of a peach and pink color. And these, of course, are the beautiful, they're like red velvet. You touch them and it's just like velvet. I picked another one of my bearded iris, of the gold bearded iris right there. These are called Virginia iris. Who would have thought that I would have those growing in my yard? I didn't plant these when I moved down here to this house. Virginia was my mother's name. It's my older sister's middle name. And now I have a flower named Virginia iris in my yard. Go figure, huh? And of course, my beautiful columbine that are growing. This one's kind of a blue purple color. Almost looks like the larkspur flower that grows. So I'm going to sit back and enjoy my nice little cinnamon roll and look at my pretty flowers. And then I may go out and do a little yard work this afternoon. I don't know, but I did want to show you how it is to make quick, easy peasy cinnamon rolls. You won't want to do it any other way once you try these. Please go out and try this because they're pretty fast and simple. So from my kitchen to yours, have a great afternoon. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye now.